Everybody, you're listening to the Heffron Reep podcast. I don't know where you're listening. I don't know. Maybe it's just on Facebook. Maybe it's on Twitter. Hey, Twitter people. Maybe I don't know where, but it's the Heffron Reep show. I'm John Heffron.
And I'm John Reep. Yeah.
Trying to find our place in the world. It's a busy world. It's a big podcast world. A lot of people doing them.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what our thing is. We'll take suggestions. If you got a suggestion box or something, if you think the show should move in a direction, should we just cover, historic events? Should we, give more info? Should we do more top 10 lists and just break down lists? Do we talk about each other's weekend every Monday? Yeah. Do you want to break up with people and we just help you through it and we call them? Do you have stuff somebody else has and you want us to get it back? Maybe you jump on our show and then we get a hold of those people and we try to get your Matchbox 20 CD from the 90s. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, those are all good suggestions, John. I mean, that's the thing. You and I both, all of those things would work, and all of them appeal to me.
Yeah.
But I also want people to know, we're live right now. I mean, it's a live show as well. Now, you might be listening to this later if it's just a regular podcast for your ear holes, but we're live right now. That's what's a great aspect to our show. Or on Facebook, YouTube, both your channels and my channels, right? And it's Monday, January 24th. It is 7:34 p.m. and we see your comments. And what we're going to do is me and John are going to catch up for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to open we're going to have a guest. Alonzo Bodden is going to be on the show. And then we'll look at your comments. If you have questions for Alonzo or me or John, we'll try and get to your comments. But I want you to know, I see you over there. I need glasses. Do Bob Haynes. I see Eddie. I see Shane Flint. We see all your comments. In fact, I wasn't here last week, and you filled in well. You and Greg Warren held the fort down. I appreciate that. But I have some comments that I'm going to read from last week's show, and then maybe you could either answer them or comment or weigh in. This is to prove to you that we're live, and I'm doing. Yeah. We're not ignoring you.
And then we'll so. I'm trying to show where I am this week.
Comedy Works in Denver. Which one?
The Yuppie one.
Oh, the Greenwood Village.
Yeah, I was getting confused. Comedy Works this weekend. This weekend. Comedy Works this weekend.
Boom. This weekend. Go see John Heffron at the Comedy Works this weekend. And if you can't make it to that one because you're so far away, you could come see me in Walhalla, South Carolina, or Shelby, North Carolina, with Reno Collier, nonetheless. All right, here's last week's. Yeah.
I know I'm interrupting you, but real quick, you notice the wall back there? I took everything off the wall. Living off the wall, living off the wall. I don't know how to decorate that. So if anybody could have any suggestions, I bought a curtain. The curtain looks weird. Because it's a weird A-frame wall, I don't know what to do with this wall. So please, if anybody have suggestions on either painting, do I just paint it? If so, what color? There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looks cool, John. I can't keep up with that.
Yeah. Well, it's my bragging wall. I got Harold and Kumar, Into the Storm. That's a Grin Reaper thing that Rick Sanford III made for me. And he has a comment for Alonzo Bodden. We'll get to that. We'll ask Alonzo Rick Sanford III's question. There's a Panther helmet, NC State helmet.
I like your Ria no sign.
Oh, yeah. On air.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, it's backwards, dude. You read. I gotta. Yeah.
Okay.
What does Harold Kumar say to you then?
Kamaku and the
Yes. That needs to be the sequel. All right, Steven, Eddie, Bob, and Danny. Here's last week's Bob Haynes. He said, "We love you, Heffron." See, even when I'm not here, you're getting love, dude.
Okay.
All right.
Take
It's
it.
the Heffron and Reep show. That doesn't mean we're always going to be here at the same time. I was busy. You said that I was shoveling snow in Omaha, and I was trapped in Omaha an extra day because of weather in North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
And by the time I got back here on a Monday, I didn't have time to prep and do this show. And I was literally shoveling snow, but at my own house, not in Omaha. That's the only thing you got wrong. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for holding down the fort. Great job, you and Greg Warren. We love you, John Heffron. William Rod Reep. I'm imagining this is he leaves comments on my page all the time, and I've met him once or twice. I guess we're related on down the line. He could tell you all about it. He says, this is his comment. LMAO, we want a signed photo of that Bell's palsy face. You should do that with John. So did you talk about your palsy last week?
Because he brought up the Dayton Funny Bone, and then I just have a memory of performing New Year's Eve at the Dayton Funny Bone when I had Bell's palsy, and I had to pull back my face and do the show, and nobody gave a shit. The club owner, the managers, nobody. I didn't get an extra sticker or cookies. The audience was pissed that I only had half a face when I performed. So I asked them if that place is still open. So
I think they just reopened, by the way.
Yeah. So
wow, but that would be a great
photo face.
If you could somehow, I know you can't. You don't want that to happen again. But if you had that as a headshot,
I have that as a picture. It's scary. Do you want me to show you? Like if I look at my phone and I'll send it to. This is a very personal part of my life because when I look at the picture, it's horrible.
It would have scared the shit out of me.
While you're talking, John, I'm gonna find the
look for the photo
on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
at Dayton, Ohio. I'm gonna show you the picture. And I'm stalling that I took of myself before I went to the show because I was gonna cancel. Dude, it's
so you got Bell's palsy before the show, or did it happen during your set?
It happened over on it was I'm gonna send it to Alan now. It was Christmas Eve. So it was Christmas Eve. So New Year's obviously was 1 or 2 weeks later. I don't know why I didn't cancel the show. I somehow thought it'd be better. And everybody that I pay that's supposed to take care of me all had me just do the show. And it was one of the worst. It's literally one of the worst decisions I've ever done. I should have just said no. Dude, I had to grab my face because I just sent a picture of this is before I went to the club, and my lips are so jacked, are so far on one side to straighten them out. I had to fish hook. I had to go like this and talk with. I put my hand and then I had to talk like this so it wouldn't be so I wasn't talking like this the whole time. So I had to go like this. And I would do each joke in the audience.
It must have been weird and uncomfortable for them as well.
The lady in the front row looked at me and goes, "He looks fucking horrible." Literally, I heard the front row lady whisper that to her husband.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened.
So
while Alan does that, and Alan, whenever you get the picture, just throw it up and I'll stop talking. But let's 2 more comment. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Dude, so look at. So do you see my lips? Oh, this is tough. So I'm literally I'm canceling the show, but do you see the center part of my mouth? Like where, you know, whatever that's called. See how far? It looks like I should be like Popeye, like holding a thing. I couldn't make it move. And you see how big my eye is and how there's no wrinkles above it? That's because my entire face is paralyzed on that side. Obviously,
so you're trying to smile in this photo.
I'm smiling.
And one side is working, the other side is not. At least it's kind of neutral. It's not that it's drooping down, it's just that it won't go up, right?
Yeah, it won't go up. And then that show I was trying to this is okay, I'm gonna send him another one. This is the headshot I should use. I was trying to like, do I put a hat on? I think I ended up wearing a hat and then pulling it way over my face so you couldn't see, my eyes or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it did not. That little trick did not help. I've seen comics that are like really effed up, wear the hat and glasses on stage. It's all very, but yeah.
Mitch Hedberg used to do that. Just would wear glasses and kind of cover his face with his hair, because he was messed up all the time.
So, so who said I should use that as a headshot that I sign?
William Rod Reep, like my distant relative. That's another guy with the last name of Reep, and I agree with him. That would be great. Not as your headshot, but every now and then. Oh boy,
dude!
Now it's really messed up. Oh, you look like that character from Batman.
Yes, Two-Face. Yes, trust me. Yeah, that's me trying to smile. I'm literally trying to smile. Both sides out.
That's scary. That's scary as hell, dude.
It was horrible.
I'm so happy it came back, man.
I was like, well, it's still not like 100% and ever, but I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'll get a job, maybe running a forklift in a warehouse alone. Like I was having, because I would go, this was like getting Bell's palsy now with everybody wearing a mask. You wouldn't see that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but it would, I would go to eat and people would just stare at stare at you. It was a thing.
Wow, dude.
I mean, I've been I've been like godlike gorgeous my entire life.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And then just
sweet dimples and now they're all. I mean,
it was
can't
the
move
whole world
around.
was mine, and then that happened, and then so there you go.
All right, another comment. Jeff Amsden said, "Hey John, hope it's more than half inch." Ha ha. What's this about? Half inch?
I don't remember.
Hey John, hope it's more than a half inch. Ha ha. Now, were you talking about penis sizes?
Probably not. I don't see.
It doesn't sound like what you guys would talk.
Yeah,
about.
I don't see. We probably talk about wrestling. I don't think me and Greg Warren would just kind of jump in a beat.
All right. Well, Jeff Amsden, I asked. I don't know either. Benjamin Huffman said, "I am new to this video. What is the funny bone?" Benjamin, that is a line of comedy clubs, a chain of comedy clubs all over the country, and I hope that you will see me or John Heffron or Alonzo Bodden at a funny bone near you. All right. Mm-hmm. Those are from comments from last week, my friend. So yeah, we see your comments going up and down. We'll get.
And also, let me just comment, Jennifer. Going through that, I'm not going through it anymore. It was a couple months. It was 2 years ago. I'm fine. My life is awesome. So thank you. Yeah. But thank you though.
Yeah. Today is Beer Can Appreciation Day, for whatever that means. It's when the beer can was invented. Yeah. I personally like beer bottles or draft, but the beer can has served me well as well. I like beer can chicken. I like to smash it on my head sometimes.
Does North Carolina, do you guys have a returnable thing, or is it recycling? Like when you have your cans, what do you do? Do you put them on your curb, or do you take them to the grocery store?
A curb, recycle.
So that's obviously how it is not obviously in California it's that, but being back in Michigan, you have a returnable, right? And you take and you throw your cans in a trash bag, and then you load up the bag and you take them to the grocery store, and then there's a machine that you got to throw the cans in, and you get 10 cents back each thing. When I worked at a grocery store at Colonial Market in South Lyon, I was the bottle kid. So people would have parties bringing trash cans full of cans, bags full of just wet, gross beer. And I'd have to count each one. And you'd literally go one conk, and you would just throw it into the back, and you would try to throw it if it was Budweiser, if it was Coors, but you would have to stick your hand in the grossest. It was so disgusting that to this day in Michigan, I toss my can. I just toss the cans, and people go, "Hey, we got to recycle these." I go, "I'm not taking them to the grocery store and getting $3. It's too much. It's gross. It's disgusting. It smells. I'm not doing it." So
yeah, it must still be a thing though. I do see homeless people still walking around with a bunch of bottles and cans as if they're going to get some money out of it. So I guess you still can do that. You know what I mean? Not just recycle. I guess you can get credit for it. It's also National Compliment Day.
Thank you for telling me that, John.
I would like, you are certainly welcome, my friend. I'd like to pay you a compliment. Your picture looks better today. Your in terms of your internet seems to be better, and I don't know, it's less hazy. So you look great. That's a compliment from me to you.
Thank you, John. And I think you're looking jovial, and I appreciate you. I have so we haven't talked in a little bit Bottom Coin Market Workshop. Loved it. So I was on maybe 2 weeks ago. We went on our honeymoon to where? Not Santa Barbara. Where's the place up north?
You went to Palm Springs, right?
Palm Springs. Why am I thinking I'm having a thing?
Well, you're not back to Bell's It's not north of you. You're in Michigan. It's north of you if you were still in Los Angeles.
So we went to Palm Springs. We stayed at this trendy hipster type hotel, which was it was like a Howard Johnson in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? And then they made it go, hey, this is hip. And, you know, they made it trendy and then charged a lot more. The whole time we were there, it was called the swim club. It was called the Ace Hotel Swim Club. And they have like a big pool. But they have kids running around that were like maybe 4 or 5 years old. What are you not? See, I don't have kids, so I don't know any of this. I don't know what age you're not potty trained at, but you're still you're starting to become a kid. 3 or 4, maybe? Is that I don't even know if that's the right age. Parents had their kids running around the pool naked with their Rottweilers and swimming, getting in and out of the pool. And I didn't see like the dogs or the kids ever be taking anywhere to piss. So
of course not. Right.
I wish I don't know why I brought this up because you know, it's more of a parenting question. How old do you not let your kid run around the pool naked?
Well, okay, couple things. One, it's a public pool, right? So if it's a private pool, that's different. You're talking a public pool. Well, I'm for it never being naked ever.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable because every time you pull out your phone, right? Like people are like, "Oh, look at the weird guy. He's taking a picture of the naked kid." So you gotta just leave your phone on the thing because no one knows what you're pointing the phone at. And then you got a naked kid on your phone by accident because you're trying to do a selfie with your new bride. And then there's a naked kid, and now it's a thing. So I just kept the phone. I didn't even bring it, but they were just running around, like, and so I didn't know. I didn't know, but it was bugging me.
Oh, it would bug me too. Now, so the dogs were going in the water as well?
The dogs weren't going in the water, but there was one of those. It was very public, I guess. And maybe I'm just too bougie.
Well, here's my question. You were at a nice place in Palm Springs. You're not at a Howard Johnson's. So if there's a guy with his naked kid running around, getting in the pool, pissing, and the dog doing the same, what that tells me is this is a very rich man who's obviously paid off the people at the hotel. Like, I come here so much, I got so much money. Look what I can do, and you can't say anything.
Then there was
because it can't be white trash, or else they couldn't afford to be in there. What else could it be? I'm confused.
North side, like if there is a theme song for the pool, and I don't know why this came in, I would sing it every time we were walking down to the pool, and it was just, what's that song? Oh, I'm gonna try to look it up while I'm talking to you, just so you'll see. I think it's a funnier reference if I just play it. And while we're there, again, I don't have pictures for this. There was a dude. Sorry. Dude that didn't have a Speedo on. He had a T-back. Like, right. So like Speedos would be what swimmers wear.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be a thong. I think it'd be a thong, but not a little stringy thong, but like a T-back right on it, right on his hairy butt. And then it was just, and he would get up and he was trying to fix the umbrella, and he's super just, I don't know, 6'5", skinny with like a T-back. It did. So here's the song I would think every time I walked in, just getting a vibe of the pool. Okay.
Okay. Right. How bizarre. How bizarre.
Every time.
This song is so stupid, but it's also catchy.
Right? Yeah. So anyway,
yeah. It's so catchy. I like it when he starts. He goes,
hot sun.
yeah. It's a dumb song, but it is very catchy. So in your head, you heard how bizarre
every time I went to the pool.
because it was bizarre.
Just the song,
because
like like I'm such a music guy. If I'm in any event or whatever, I like to have a soundtrack. I like to go, okay, if I was to put music underneath this thing now, what would I do? And it's just that every part of that song.
Well, here's the thing: if you go I got no problem, and I've told you this before. I've been to nude beaches. I've been naked on nude beaches. I've done this. It's well documented.
Right. Yeah.
So, but that's an appropriate time to do it. If you're in a public pool, and you're not expecting it, then that happens. So, well, now, someone's just not playing by the rules. So it's just not fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird. Well, what besides that, did you have a good honeymoon?
Had a good honeymoon. We went to a bougie spa. Oh, let me tell you this story, dude. So we went to this bougie spa that gave you like treatments, right? So they had like hot springs, hot tubs, all mineral bath hot tubs, all in a huge heated pool, and then you get facials, massages, whatever, right? So you go, and Michelle picks like a massage. And I want a body wrap. I want a mud, those like that mud, the mud thing where you paint mud on you.
Right, I've seen those. I've never done one, but I've seen
when
Rambo did that in the movie.
Yes. So when I saw the thing, I thought we got a big bucket of this mud, and you could literally paint it on each other, and then you just bake out in the sun, and then you go in the mineral pool and you wash it off. That's what I thought happens. So when we get there, they go, yeah, we'll do a mud thing. Who do you want to get, male or female? And I go, female. Because I'm just weird. I'm weird that way. And Michelle goes, well, I'll
That's not weird. That's what I would prefer.
So Michelle goes, I'll take just a male masseuse or whoever's available. So we're waiting. And the guy comes out and says, hey, who had the mud thing? And I go, I do. And they said, well, she skipped out on you. Literally, the management said, you're supposed to have it. She just left. We don't know what happened to her, the girl who does these. So we don't know what you want to do. Just then, this guy comes out with he's got a ponytail and he's tatted. He's got like a scorpion tattoo going on his neck all the way up to his ear.
Oh no.
And wristbands. And he comes out. And I look at Michelle, and now I'm thinking she's not gonna get massaged by that guy. And she looked at me and she goes, I don't want him touching me, right? Because he literally
or you I mean, you're the one who asked for a female.
And I go, take my spot. Let's flip it. You can have the female, and I'll have I'll take the male. So I flipped it, thinking that we were gonna be safe, but then the female left. So Michelle goes and gets a massage, and then this gray hair guy comes out, and then this dude who looks like he drives for like Uber Eats comes out. And I'm like, fuck, I either had the super old guy or the Uber Eats kid. Literally, right? Not making fun of Uber Eats. I'm just saying he didn't look like, a guy who gets a massage. So it's him. So we go in there, and I don't know whether I should bail or not. So I lay down, and I'm getting the mud thing, which is not any. Now I'm about to have a guy paint mud on me.
Yeah,
it's not how, but I don't know how to bail out of it. So he gets his scrub, just like just a bath scrub that's not wet. He's telling me you got to exfoliate before your thing, and he starts sanding me like he's flipping furniture. He's just going like this, and he starts doing my leg, and the brush kind of gets by my nads a little. I'm like, I go, can we speed up this part? Because it was kind of like slow and intense. I go, if you have a Makita and just, if you're going to sand me off, just do it fast. And then he put all the stuff on, and it was, so then he goes,
horrible.
It was, dude, I wanted to bail. I was so uncomfortable. The only other time I was that uncomfortable is when I had a blade shave at a place.
Yeah.
And I'm just not, I was that intense the entire time.
So you sat there and took it?
I sat there and took it. He put all the stuff on me, and then they wrap you up like a burrito, right? And then you kind of cook it. And they go, so go in the shower and shower off. I'm going to come back and set up the thing to then put on the whatever. So I go in the shower, and it's that frosted glass. And then he just comes in, and he's like fixing the bed. And I'm like, I don't know. Even when I had 5 roommates in college, I only took a dump or showered when I knew everybody else was at class. I hated every moment of it. I hated every.
That sounds horrible.
And then I walk out, and Michelle's in the sun, and she's like, "Oh, that was." I'm like, "We gotta go. I don't feel good about the thing. I don't." Yeah, it was. But besides
I would have bailed, dude, and I get you. So the whole thing is, the premise am I a sexist or am I a homophobic? Because apparently you have to be one or the other when it matters to you what the sex of your masseuse is, right? But I'm okay with it. I've already come to terms with maybe I'm homophobic then, because I do want, or maybe I'm sexist because I do want a female rubbing me over a male, and I don't like it. I can't relax.
I can't relax
when a dude is rubbing me, because I've had a bad experience before. Didn't know it was going to be a guy. Was face down, and he comes in, and his had callus on his hands, so it didn't feel good, and he kept doing this like he had a cold. He kept like, And at one point, I feel like hot oil, and I hear this at the same time. I'm like, well, is that snot or is this oil? What's happening here? So
doing lines off your
then
back.
on, I have no problem bailing if it's a dude.
I had the weirdest in the other time I had that happen. I got like a pedicure, right? So your feet's in that water thingy. Yeah, and it was like at the place at the mall, and it was a dude. Okay, you see, there's 35 women. You're like, oh, that's fine. And then the one guy comes from break out of the back, and you're like, where'd you come from?
They try and trick your ass.
Yeah, so he was given the pedicure, and a couple times he would look up to start talking, or kind of like we made eye contact in a way that I was not comfortable with. I don't want have that eye contact where somebody's looking up at you. I was not
looking up at you wantingly. Does this feel good?
Did
he call you daddy?
Yeah, it was horrible. But the honeymoon was nice.
That's good. Yeah. Real quick, guys, I don't know if you guys are watching. I see the comments popping up. John, I'm sorry, that was a great story. But I need more people to hear these kind of things. So y'all have to share this. Alonzo's in the waiting room. We only have 3 Patreons. Go to heffronreep.com and become a Patreon supporter. We only have 3. So get on there. All right. heffronreep.com. All right. Our guest that's joining us, I'll give him a quick little introduction. We both know him. Known him for a long time. He's been on the show before. He's a good friend. He's a hilarious comedian. He is also a winner of Last Comic Standing. And I don't think let's play the special guest opening, and we'll just have him on, and we'll just keep going. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this.
It's Alonzo and Hulk.
What's up?
What's going on? Yeah. Nice. How's it going? What's the dog's name?
Hulk.
Oh, so
Hulk.
Okay, John, you were right. I thought maybe you just guessed that. You knew that. What's up, Hulk? Hey, Hulk.
How big of a dog do you have to be to make Alonzo get knocked back in his seat a little?
He
You know what I mean?
is, well, the computer's on the table and
Yeah,
he's
look at
on
him.
all 4 feet. So
Oh
that gives
my
you an
gosh.
idea how tall he is. He weighs about $140.
Wow.
Hey, off,
And I don't want to sound racist, but is that a black lab?
off. Nah, he's a great Dane.
He's a
Oh.
big
Great
dog.
Dane.
Oh, he's a big
So-
Great Dane. Yeah.
Dude, so
So
I don't know why
Hef,
Alonzo there aren't commercials with Alonzo and his dog, because Alonzo and we I think we just talked about this when I talked to Alonzo the other day. So Alonzo takes his dog to the park. John, I'm gonna guess. Do you know what vehicle Alonzo drives and has driven for 5-6 years at the minimum? I bet.
Well,
right?
let me guess, because I know he's a car guy. I also know he's a motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's doing the Jeff Dye move where he puts goggles on the dog and puts him in a sidecar. I doubt it. I want to say Alonzo's driving a big truck.
Here's why I knew you were wrong, because you said the word big was the first thing out of your mouth. He drives a Mini Cooper.
No way. There's no way
Alonzo and that dog is in a Mini Cooper every day. Follow Alonzo on Instagram. You will see.
Oh,
Have
that's
you ever
awesome.
had anybody, Alonzo, when you get out at a park, does anybody ever say anything?
Yeah, at the dog park, they're surprised to see us both get out. I'm looking for a picture to send
Alan?
to Reep. I have to send a picture with
Oh,
Hulk
yeah.
outside. But now it's not the small Mini, it's the Countryman. It's the miniature SUV. And those
Oh,
things
yeah.
they have, I tell people, it's an engineering masterpiece. They have a ton of room inside. Nobody believes it until they get in, and then they're like, wow. But yeah, me and the Hulk roll in a Mini Countryman, and we're good. Oh, okay. So I'm going to send this to you right now, Mr. Reep.
All right. Now, are those the ones? Do they sit low to the ground, or are they
Well,
you know?
I'll tell you what's funny, and one of the reasons I use it, I had a BMW X5, and the Mini sits a lot closer to the ground, so it's easier for him to get in and out of.
Okay. Well, that makes
Did the
sense.
picture-
I'm looking at the picture now. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that looks good. That's not what I was. When I hear Mini, I don't think of this, but this looks like a cool
No,
car.
this isn't the little roller skate Mini.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
there is, like, on a website, I did see a woman who has the little roller skate Mini and actually has 2 Great Danes that ride in the back with her. So
Wow.
hey, it's possible.
The Alan
So
Jackson, I just sent that to you.
Before we
ahead.
go any farther, can I comment on John Reep's stories? I mean, John Heffron's stories.
Please.
And just say, I just want you to know, Heff, Tammy and I were texting, and we truly believe God does things to you just for a laugh. Just
Right?
for his own personal laugh. He's like, let me give Reep the DoorDash massage guy and get uncomfortably close to the nads.
Yeah.
with the brush thing. I didn't know, because then I had to take one, because Michelle, like, this guy comes out, he's got like the scorpion tattoo, and it just I don't know. Like, I didn't know if it just seemed bad. So I'm like, I'll take the hit, I'll take the guy, you can take the woman. And then the woman took off. So or did she have the anyway?
Alonzo, do you get massages? Is that something you do?
Not regularly. Like, if I work a cruise gig, I'll get a massage while I'm on the ship, and once in a great while. Here's my thing with massages. I fall asleep, and then I figure they're not doing it. Like, once you fall asleep, they're like, okay, done. Let it sleep for the rest of the hour, you know?
Yeah.
Have you guys, as a travel thing, have you ever traveled with a lacrosse ball in your computer bag and put that on the wall, and you roll your back and you find the part that's a little tight with the lacrosse ball? Have you?
No, I did that
trick?
with a golf ball. I did it with a golf ball for my foot, though. I broke my
amazing.
foot, and part of the therapy was rolling my foot on top of a golf ball.
Oh, I haven't. No, Heffron or Alonzo, I haven't really traveled. I if I feel if I have time on a Sunday or Saturday, if if there's the one close by, I'll go get a massage. I used to get them all the time, but not so much therapy on myself. I haven't really tried the ball stuff, but
I am worried about going to a massage place. I am just convinced it'll be one of those rub and tug places, and it'll get raided while I'm in there. My luck isn't good enough to go to a random massage place.
Yeah.
Yep.
If the hours to the spot are super small on a sticker on the door, that's a legit place. If it's a big open sign, don't go in.
Big open sign and neon colored lights
in a shit. Yeah. And then just watch videos on human trafficking, and you'll just go, I don't know how those places are open. Alonzo, before the show, John, help me out because I'm, how my brain's.
Dude, go ahead.
We didn't have this conversation on air, right? We had it off. Alonzo, before the show, me and Reep, we were talking to each other briefly, and I told him something. He posted something with Steve Byrne about Seinfeld. They both weren't fans. This is maybe for another. They watched the video of Seinfeld and they commented on it. And Steve Byrne.
Steve Byrne is the one who had the problem, not me. And I was an innocent bystander.
Yeah. So then Steve Byrne said something about how much he hates Seinfeld because of the movie Comedian, because they took Orny Adams and basically hung him out to dry. Right. They took a young comic, and then Orny Adams is on there. And listen, Orny Adams is Orny Adams. We love him. I literally just talked to him yesterday. I've toured through Canada with the guy. He's Orny Adams, right? That's all I gotta say. But we started talking about just comics selling tickets. And then the conversation went off where if you had to start labeling comics, in a musical genre, instead of we're just all comedians, right? How they take music and they have it all busted up into genres. We were trying to guess what we would be, because I was like, I think I'm Matchbox 20. Like, nobody gives a shit, but nobody hates me. I'm right down the middle, vanilla. You're not gonna change the channel. I'm just right. I'm not changing minds or whatever. He started trying to think what he was, and then we both came to the same about you. We definitely, it's because of all of this. You're a fan of jazz. We're like, no, Alonzo would be smooth jazz because he's not in your face yelling about this is how things should be, and he's not dirty, and he's not. So it's more of a grown up kind of vibe where I would say like you are the male version of Sade in comedy. How about that?
I'll take that. I'll take
right?
that, especially
coming from me,
especially coming from you, who is the biggest Sade fan I have ever met.
So I won't even show you my album.
That as high praise. I'm going to tell you something funny about Orny Adams. Okay, you mentioned Orny.
Yes.
This month is 29 years in comedy. The only comic I can't stand is Orny Adams.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. We were on a Just for Laughs tour. I don't know how many years ago. And this is when, what was his name? The coke addict mayor of Toronto. What was his name?
Oh, the big blustery with the big crazy hair. I know you're talking about.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hang on, Alonzo. It looks like Heffron froze up.
Yeah, I'm frozen. Can you hear me?
Okay, but you can hear us, right? Okay,
yes.
good.
I can hear you guys.
I'm just frozen. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Alonzo.
Rob Ford. That was his name.
Yeah.
Rob Ford. So, as you guys know, I do topical comedy, right? I talk about whatever's going on. So on the tour, I was making fun of Rob Ford, and I was talking about, for one thing, who's doing cocaine these days? Everybody else is on meth. And the other thing, how do you get fat while doing cocaine? Those are two bits that I'm doing about Rob Ford. So we had some publicity show we had to do. Orny did both of those jokes. I can't tell you how mad I was. No, I will tell you how mad I was. Jeremy Hotz told me, you can't hit him because he'll have you arrested. And just for laughs called me and said, you cannot beat the shit out of Orny Adams. Like I threw a chair in the makeup room, like I was ready to kill this guy, because on TV he did my material while I'm sitting there.
Is this after he saw you do it?
Yeah, we've been on tour. Yeah, he saw me do it.
So he wasn't just riffing about topical stuff as well. He was taking your stuff.
Well, not only that, for one thing, Orny doesn't do topical stuff. Orny doesn't riff on topical stuff. When they put the tour together, they put together different comics. You guys have done the tour. So they had like me, like Bobby Kelly, Jeremy Hotz, Orny. We're all different. We do completely different stuff. And I'm the one who does topical stuff. I'm not saying I own it. I'm saying that everybody there knows this is the stuff I do.
Right.
And anyway, after that, ever since then, I've been done with Orny. I got nothing to say to him. I will say this though, when it came to comedian, right? Mm-hmm. That's who Orny was. And the funny thing was, this was before I had this experience, before I knew Orny. I was working with Bobby, Dane Cook, Goldman, a bunch of Boston comics. And they were all saying, yeah, he's an asshole. This is who like they knew him. And it showed just who he was. Like, I was like, damn, why do they not like this guy? And then I found out, oh, this is why they don't. So comedian wasn't mean to Orny Adams. It showed exactly who he is.
Wow. You know? Okay.
It showed who he is. So,
well, I'll tell you. Do you know Steve Burns' side of this?
Oh yeah, I know Steve.
Yeah, but have you heard? So Steve Byrne and I did a thing. Steve Byrne started his own podcast called Comedy Pinata, and basically all you do, it's his baby. But I was on a couple of episodes. I'm going to be on some more. We just watch other comedians stand up, and then rate it, give our opinion, and talk about it, and then we have to rate ourselves. It's a whole thing. It's a good idea. Anyway, Seinfeld came up. And I was like, oh, yeah, Seinfeld. Everybody loves Seinfeld, of course, the number one sitcom. And he goes, no. That's the one comic I cannot stand. Like you were just talking about Orny Adams. Steve Byrne can't stand Seinfeld. And I'm like, well, what's the story? And he basically said that, Seinfeld ruined Orny Adams' career, made him look like he was like an asshole. But it's funny to hear two different sides of that.
Well, no, he didn't. Listen. That would be like saying the Laugh Factory ruined Michael Richards' stand-up career, right? Michael Richards was at the Laugh Factory when he told everyone who he really is.
Yeah, right.
Orny went on that show and told everyone who he really is.
Yeah. I got to watch it. I haven't seen it since it came out in 2000 or something, right? It's been 21 years. So I really have no dog in this fight. I love hearing both sides of that.
Listen, I love Steve Byrne, but it's kind of funny to me that would be why you didn't like Seinfeld.
Uh-huh. Well, he also said he's a general sort of mean guy or something. I've never met Seinfeld. I told Steve on his show, I would rate my opinion of comedians. It's two things. One, do I think they're funny? Two, do they think I'm funny? And if they don't think I'm funny or nice, then screw them too. Because I have a feeling that Seinfeld would not like me as a comedian. I'm sure he'd love me as a person, but as a comedian, he probably wouldn't like me because he's New York and I'm Southern. So
yeah, I've never crossed paths with him. Oddly, I've never met him. I don't know. I don't know anything about him as a person other than like his public persona,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm friends with George Wallace and they go back 40 years, but of course George is going to be biased because they slept on a couch, when they started out. But
yeah,
I have like my thing with comics is there's the comic and the act, because there are certainly comics who I may not be a big fan of their act, but I'm cool with the comic.
Yeah.
Like that is what it is. I'm really that way about Heffron, to be honest. I've never liked his act. I don't understand how anyone laughs at it. It's just, oh wait, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey.
he's back. I'm sorry.
Oh, so anyway, that's
Hey,
what
can you
we
guys-
think. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, you have. It looks like you've called in. You
I
sound
called
like
in,
you're on your phone.
My computer just died. I thought it was all plugged in, and that battery thing popped up. I think it's getting, and it just.
This is classic Heffron, Alonzo. This is God doing exactly what you predicted.
Wait, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me show you. Just I'm going to turn. Okay, I don't know how to flip it, so I'm going to go like this. So do you see these wires? These are hooked up into here. Everything's maxed, and then we go over here. This is all plugged in, and then if you follow, it goes like I don't know why. I don't know why it doesn't work.
You got too much stuff. That's hilarious, though. I mean,
Alonzo
called it.
Very Heffron. That is very Heff right there.
So, Alonzo, I think before John got deleted, I think what we were trying to get to was, John is Matchbox 20. I would assume people would say I'm like country or southern rock. We were talking about you would be smooth jazz. But I'm curious, what would Alonzo say John Reep is or Heffron is?
Okay, I would definitely say you're that. I don't know the exact term for it, but like the contemporary country stuff, not the old. My dog died, my wife left me, my pickup truck broke down. Not that country. Yeah. But the more contemporary country stuff is who I would say.
So Americana.
Heff is definitely top 40.
Oh, seriously, you think?
Heff's top 40. Heff, if you don't like John Heffron, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? Like he's funny and relatable. You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm not saying this disparaging. I'm saying this is that Heff, you're a guy that people relate to, and that's the way top 40 music is. That's the way popular music is. It's what people like and people relate to. It's not, it's not like heavy metal or something where if you don't like that specific genre, then you're not going to be into it. You know what I mean? Like Bert Kreischer is metal. Like if you don't like Bert Kreischer, you're not, you know what I mean? If you don't like The Machine, then Bert Kreischer's not going to be your guy because he comes at you like that. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Heff is like, Heff's just funny. You're just funny, Heff. So
I would put
I don't say that in any disparaging way.
Right.
I would prefer to be contemporary jazz to smooth jazz. But if you're comparing me to Sade, I'll take it. Just don't Kenny G.
Well,
I think Sade me, it's okay. But if you Kenny G,
no way, no Kenny G.
I think I was giving myself too much credit then because you said I was pop, but I was going because I'm older. I'm more of a James Taylor at this point. I'm classic. I'm like this. Tom Waits, like this cool, like we all get together, we have wine. Where Bert Kreischer, you said metal, I would go maybe more Lady Gaga. Like
Bert Kreischer?
Big show. Yeah, like big show, big production. Like,
Yeah, I hear him.
Well, that's the show. That's not him. That's the show around. I mean, you could say that about any comic that becomes famous and starts doing big theaters and arenas and stuff. Any of them are big show. I mean, listen, Bill Burr is big show. Bill Burr ain't Lady Gaga.
Right,
but he would be Metallica. Burr to me would be like Metallica or that type of thing.
So what is Gabe Iglesias is about to do the biggest show ever, right? He's about to do Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
What is Gabe Iglesias?
Well,
Jennifer Lopez.
There you go.
No, because
he's
you got to go with the Latino guy, right? I mean, it's what you bring. I mean, he's definitely Latino.
He's better than Jennifer. He's better than J-Lo, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Hang on, let me think of this. What's
I'll put it
who was
this way.
J-Lo married to?
He as a comic is better than J-Lo as a musician. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to compare these two. So yeah, because
is he
Billy Joel?
What was his name? Julio Iglesias? Is he that? Without the romance?
Maybe more maybe more Ricky Martin.
Yeah, Ricky Martin. But he's bigger than that. He's transcended the Latino world.
I would say, okay, would
so is
Dave
Ricky Martin.
be Billy Joel level then? Like get like their ages and their ethnicity.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what we're saying, but I think what would other people say? Like, I would love to put a poll up about all three of us, you know. And here's another thing I'm looking forward to. And Alonzo, thanks for being on the show. We're kind of starting our own circle. You know how Joe Rogan's got his Roganites. We're trying to start our own circle, and you've said yes. We're going to have. So I want the poll to be everybody in the circle. It'd be Reno, Alonzo, Tammy, Greg Warren, me, and John, and maybe we'll get more. Maybe we'll get Steve Byrne up in here. But all of us, I want to poll what genre music is each comedian, right? I wonder what other people would say. Because, I mean, we're all saying what we think, but what would everyone else say? It's really like, what's a perception that lives out there? You know what I mean?
You know what? I think we got enough problems without them categorizing us.
That's true. Right.
Honestly, I have had, like, for a long time, I never had that thing of people, like when you tell a joke and people don't get it, or they want to give you the logic behind it, why it's not true. And I've been having that experience lately, and it's fascinating to me. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like Heff, you were talking about your background. What are you going to put up there? You know, there's a site that rates the background when you do a Zoom.
Oh, yes, rate my room.
Yeah, and they gave me an 8 because of the artwork behind me, and I was like, I'm in a hotel room. I can't redecorate it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I posted this picture on Instagram. It was a new Corvette next to a lifted Suburban in handicap parking. They were both in handicap parking. So I just posted the picture, and I made, I don't know what comment I made, but it was just, and this woman gave a whole reply of, you don't know what their handicap is, and they might blah, blah. And I was like, you know, I posted it because it is somewhat ironic to see a Corvette and a lifted Suburban in handicap parking. If it were a van with a lift, it would not be funny. But because these cars are not normally associated with handicapped people, it was somewhat humorous. I did not mean to insult the handicapped community. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I agree. I've sort of gotten to the point where if I have to explain my sense of humor to you, then you're not someone that I want to be associated with anyway. It's you either get it or you don't. If you don't, then it's not for you. And let's just live our lives away from each other.
Right. So the reason you can't give them a musical genre is John Reep is contemporary country. And what if he accidentally does a hip hop joke? Well, that isn't correct. He shouldn't be doing it.
Well, that's why someone just left in the comment section, John Reep is Prince. Because I do have a whole Prince bit. Like I love Prince. So you're right.
Hey guys, I'm back off my phone now. I was cutting up clips and putting them onto TikTok against every fiber on my body, but I was told I need to help sell tickets. So I was grabbing old clips because I have no content for TikTok, right? It's people dancing and then me at a club. So I grabbed stuff from my first special, and I have a bit about the We Gotta Go girl. There's a girl in every group, and she's the We Gotta Go girl bit, right? I did this in the 90s. A lot of different versions have done since past then, but I would like to say I was one of the grandfathers of that bit. So that's the joke, is that women are like the Marines. They don't leave anybody behind. That joke's won me last comic. People just always come up to me, We Gotta Go girl. Put it on TikTok. Every other comment is, that's because girls don't want to be raped. Oh, I get
right. No one goes, yeah, good point. It's like, well, here's why.
Yeah, it's because and then I had a bit where I don't even remember where my dad punches holes in all these doors in the hallway, and the whole joke is he was going to replace them that following weekend, but we were scared of him for the rest of our lives. Whatever, it was a fun whatever. Underneath that, yeah, because child abuse or child whatever should be a thing. I'm like, God, I do not want to talk to anybody in their 20s. I can't. You don't get it.
Yeah. Alan Jackson, I think I sent you the picture of the Mini Cooper SUV next to Hulk, the Great Dane. If you got it, just throw it up anytime while we're talking, because that's a good picture. There it is.
Yeah,
look at that.
There he is.
How old is Hulk?
13 months. He's bigger than he was in that picture. That picture was at about 10 months. Yeah, probably about 9 or 10 months.
That breed grows really fast too, right?
In the year, okay, so I got him, next month will be a year. I got him February of 2021. When I got him, he weighed 27 pounds. He now weighs 141.
That's an expensive dog. I mean,
he's worth every penny. He's great.
All right, Alan, that's good.
I haven't had a dog since I was a kid, and when I was a kid, I was a lousy dog kid. Didn't take care of him, irresponsible, blah blah blah. So this is kind of my makeup for that. But they bring a peace to you. They're hanging out with a dog. You're just like, you know what? Nothing's really that important.
Yeah.
How guilty do you feel? Because when I had my dogs, when I lived in Los Angeles, every Thursday I'd have to take him to the kennel and drop him off for the spa. I called it the spa. I would Margaret and go, "You want to go to the spa?" And she'd run around circles and run to the door. Kylie would go and hide when I said the word spa. Same dogs, or two German Shepherds, had different experiences. Kind of like my spa with the guy. I don't know if you asked me to go back, if I would like it. But every time I dropped him off that ride to LAX, I just felt guilty. I was just like, okay, I can get him first thing Monday, but it's going to be, do you have that dog guilt, and how many treats do you buy him after you drop him off?
It's funny you mention that right now, because right now, normally I would be in the midst of my Bermuda cruises run. Right. I was going to be gone for 4 weeks, and I take him to this place. It's called the Topanga Pet Resort, and it's really great. They have a big outdoor area. Well, they actually have like 3 for different size dogs. And then they have the indoor where they sleep and this and that. And they're really fantastic with dogs. But I was like, if I had to leave him there for a month, I'd feel guilty, except I was going to put him into their training program. So he would be trained every day. So it would be like boot camp, and he would have that interaction. When I leave him for the weekend, I feel a little guilty, but not too bad, because he loves playing with the other dogs.
Right.
And the people who work there, like, obviously love dogs.
Yeah.
When you come across people who work with animals, you get the ones where it's their job, but then you see the ones where they genuinely love animals, and that's who these people are. I'll tell you, this pet resort, we're all nervous because the owner is looking to sell it, and everybody's like, "What? Where are we going to go?" Because they're just really good with dogs.
I know what you're talking about. When I lived in LA, when I was married, 2 dogs. I traveled as well. I think it's the same one. It's a resort for dogs. It's not just a kennel where you drop them off. You're right. These dogs, it's almost, sometimes it would be an upgrade of
Yeah. I went to one of those places where they just put him in like a kennel, like it's just a room.
Yeah, you can.
And a bed. And I was like, no, that's jail. I'm not putting him in jail for the weekend. He's got to have room to run outside. Like, it's basically like they're in a dog park with other dogs all day, and then they sleep at night. And the other thing I found out, when dogs are tired, like, they sleep forever. Like, for a dog to sleep 12 hours, to them, that's a good night. Like, after a good day, they're like, wake me up tomorrow morning. Like, it's like 6 or 7 at night. They're like, I'm done. Wake me up tomorrow morning.
I remember I was spending, because I had 2 dogs in the kennel I took him to. You always did the upgrade, and I couldn't have them in the same suite together because they'd fight when they were like that, even though they never fought at home. So I was spending, I think, $200 a night every time I dropped them off. So if you're gone for a weekend doing a Thursday through Sunday, what's that? 2, 4, 6, 8. I was like $800 some a weekend.
Yeah, you should have found Topanga. You should have found this place.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is they're even like one of those bougie preschools. Like they have to interview you and meet the dog before you can start boarding. They have to, you have to bring the dog and talk to them, and they meet the dog before they're like, okay, we'll let them, you know.
Yeah.
I had an idea.
Cameras there as well. You can
No,
check in.
oddly, this one doesn't have cameras. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. But you know, so far he hasn't come home with any bruises, so I'm thinking they're not abusing him while my back's turned.
I always thought if I could just create a business, I always wanted to come up with an apartment complex, right, that had a dog run in it, and also had dog washing facilities, so you can just hose off your dog and just like you're taking it out. But then for an extra $200 a month or whatever the math was, somebody came and let out your dog and put your dog in the dog running kennels while you were at work. And that was part of your rent, is you had a dog sitter. That was all part of it. And you charge an extra $400 or $500 a month. I know that sounds like a lot, but I spent that on watching my dogs a billion times.
Somebody heard your idea. Because I have a friend who lives in this apartment building, like this luxury, and they do corporate housing and all that stuff. But they have that. They have a dog run, and you pay a monthly fee for a personal concierge. And one of the things they will do, she told me, is they'll come walk your dog.
So
like,
good.
you know, I don't know how much the fee is. It's a fee, but I mean, this is the person who'll like get your DoorDash food or your deliveries or your whatever. Yeah. Pick up your, you know, dry cleaning. There's a dry cleaners in the building. They do it. But one of the services they do is dog walking. So
okay, yeah, the other one I'm going to throw out there.
Your idea.
I'm going to throw this one out there then. Water softener salt delivery. Each of those bags are 40 pounds each. Every time I go to the store, I got to grab 4 of them and throw that on there and bring
water softener.
Yeah, that's what happens when you live out in a farm.
I don't think I've
big
ever
city
bought
water. Okay, I don't have big city water like the rest of you, where they put your you know,
join the real world, redneck.
Well, why don't you get the water softener thing that you put in the water line, like the machine?
I have that, but then you have to pour rock salt down it to let it do its thing, like it's 1850. Yeah.
Well,
have you ever bought that?
Then.
Have you ever bought
a good one? You have money. You have money. Get the good one that you don't have to pour salt in and crank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be. Hey, Alonzo, we want to do a segment on this show where we like show videos that are out there and we just react to them. And and this one just popped up not long ago. And I do believe we were just talking before you came on that maybe you've already weighed in on this on your own pages, but there was a guy who walked into a smoothie shop and threw the smoothie.
I know the video.
Well, let's watch it. If Alan Jackson, if you don't mind, let's watch this real quick. And then for those of you who haven't seen this, let's watch it and then we'll react to it and talk about it. If you have it, Alan Jackson. There it is.
Please don't yell at us.
Yeah. Don't video TV.
You have no room to yell at us.
I want to speak the fucking person who made this drink. Is that you?
No,
we don't know who made it, so.
You don't know who made it?
There's 4 of us here, so we honestly don't know.
Fucking stupid, fucking ignorant high school kids.
Okay, bye.
Wow.
Bye. Okay, you can call corporate whenever you want. Goodbye.
Okay, pause it, Alan Jackson.
That girl was,
yeah, all right.
that girl was getting some.
We can play and pause. Yeah, asshole comes in yelling to the kids. He wants to know who made it. They go, well, there's 4 of us here, so we don't know. All right, well, that logic doesn't hold up. I mean, you could probably find out. But I get it. Maybe it was made 2-3 hours ago. It's a new shift. So that's true. And then you're yelling at these high school kids.
Yeah.
This dude, and he said it, these stupid fucking high school kids.
Yeah.
Like this guy's had some shit happen to him. All right, so do we want to play it and pause it, or do we want to watch the whole thing?
Already you can tell when somebody fake angers that. Like, ever see a guy who really, really hates gay people and he's just telling you how bad he hates them, and the only reason why he's doing it is because he's way gay.
So yeah, he's compensating, right?
So he has an underage girlfriend and he's trying to act like he doesn't like young girls.
Right, he's overcompensating.
He's
being extra angry at these. He just want another excuse to come back in there and flirt and show off. Yeah. Alonzo, any comments? Or should we keep playing?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I posted this on Twitter, and you know what my comment was? Where are their fathers? I think any one of these girls' fathers need to visit him and say, hey, I understand you were talking to my little girl. Now a man is in your face. Because this guy's a bitch. Now you know what happened to him, right? You know the aftermath of this?
Well, let's hold it. Let's play a little bit more for those who haven't seen this. Go ahead and play it some more, and then we'll wait.
I don't care.
Give it to me right now.
What? I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police.
Fuck you. I want the fucking telephone number right now.
I'd shoot him. At this point, he comes back there.
These are 16-year-old girls, and he's trying.
He's getting
He's trying to come back there.
Why is that girl taking you? It's 911. Is she texting her friends? A girl on the phone right there.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Well, they're panicking probably.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! You're going to jail! You're going to jail, you racist!
Go do another bump.
Oh, see, now look. Now that girl luckily has her back up against the door. He's trying to come in there. And it's, it's in a world where it's hard to get anyone to work, there's probably no one over 16 in that building other than that man who's trying to get in that room with those 4 16-year-old girls. Well, this one girl, hats off to her for barking at him as much as she did.
Yeah, there should be someone adult working there. It shouldn't just be the girls. There should be an adult manager or somebody.
I would have grabbed the knife.
All right,
that's
good.
He came through that door, I would have went stand my ground. I thought he was trying. He said he was getting pissed.
So
right to his throat.
So I'm engaged, and my fiance has a 16-year-old daughter, and she was working at a Subway, and that's what's happening these days out there in the world, guys. During COVID crap, they'll hire anybody, and then sometimes it's these kids, and that's the only ones running the store. Now, sure, that could be frustrating for a customer, but that's what the real world is. That's what you got to deal with, and you can't be throwing smoothies at children's heads.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but there has to be. There has to be an adult manager there, and this guy needs his ass kicked. He needs to meet up to it. I got no respect for bullies. I have zero respect for him. He needs to step up to a man and say, "Yeah, your daughter's a little bitch," and then when he wakes up from the beating, he'll be like, maybe I should shut the fuck up. That would be
So there's a minute left. Wow.
Yeah. Do you know? I think it's just more of this. Like the best part's over. He just the best. I mean, not the best part, but the most interesting part was him. Well, let me tell you what happened. This guy's name is James Ian Azio or something like this. Some weird name I can't pronounce. But he's a wealth manager at Merrill Lynch.
No, he used to be.
Right. He was. He was arrested and charged with second-degree intimidation based on bigotry or bias, second-degree breach of peace, and first-degree criminal trespass. It all happened because the man didn't tell the staff that there was a peanut allergy. He was trying to get, apparently he got a smoothie for his son, and his son is allergic to peanuts. Well, right away, let's go ahead and thin the herd right there. So maybe they did you a favor. But apparently the son reacted to it. He came back pissed off because, not that they put peanuts in there, that maybe they didn't wash the spoon thoroughly enough. And that's why he flew off the handle. But that's no excuse, by the way.
Well, he got fired, which he should. He got arrested, which he should. And you know what? His son's peanut allergy is not their responsibility.
Yeah.
If your son has a peanut allergy, maybe you don't order a peanut butter smoothie, or maybe you know what I mean? Like you don't get this. Listen, if you have some kind of allergy or specific thing, then it's on you to take care of it. It's not on society. The world shouldn't have to bend. Tammy does a joke about that, right? About the entire airplane has to worry about eating a peanut because of your kid or something. Yeah. I respect that. I respect your kid may have an allergy or something, but that is not these girls' responsibility. Plus, and to yell at a bunch of teenage girls like that, maybe just put them in jail for one night and say, by the way, fellas, this guy yells at teenage girls.
Yeah.
And just that, there's certain things you got to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Bullying little girls, the lesson for that is you need your ass beat repeatedly. Like, this is a rich, privileged guy, right? Yeah. You know those charges. He's just going to pay some fine. He doesn't give a shit. And some other company's going to hire him if he knows how to, make money in the stock market. But the thing about a good daddy ass whipping, that is stay with him. You get 4 dads to whip his ass, that's going to stay with him.
Alonzo, that needs to be like a segment you have on a podcast where you just confront these guys that are doing this. Like, hire Alonzo, you just show up and just,
Well, this happened. This happened years ago in New York, right? This guy was yelling at these 4 Puerto Rican women for speaking Spanish in a pizza parlor or something, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, okay. First of all, they speak 2 languages, so they're smarter than you right there. Right there, they're ahead.
Right.
Second of all, go yell at 4 Puerto Rican men for speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay. Go yell at 4 Puerto Rican men. You're yelling at 4 small women. Yell at 4 men. Tell them to speak English. Man up. Now I see one of your comments is talking about if he told them no nuts. But again, not their problem.
Listen, if I went in and started throwing
public to eat.
Yeah, you have to go out of your way and tell them it's for a serious food allergy. You can't just assume that everyone knows that you have a problem with peanuts. I'm sure he didn't get a peanut smoothie knowing his son has a peanut allergy. But, if they don't wash the spoons after each one, you know what I mean? Right. Like, you have to make it a point. I seriously need you to make sure there's no peanut. Or maybe just don't get a freaking smoothie. You know what I mean?
Or
make it yourself.
I'm amazed at your commenter defending this guy. I don't care if your kid's deathly allergic. That is your responsibility, not theirs. You do not get to yell at people like this in public because you have a problem. Let me tell you something, Jason, who's making comments, okay? I'm 6'3", 260. How about I just start yelling at people and threatening to come across the counter because I didn't like the way you made a drink? Because it's my kid. It's my responsibility. Let me tell you what happens to black people when they get mad like that, Jason. We go straight to jail if we're lucky. If we're lucky, we go to jail. That's the best thing that could happen. This is a ridiculous level of privilege, and that's why this guy needs just a good old-fashioned
ass whipping.
Jason, you cannot defend this with his kid. His life was in danger. That's his responsibility, not the girls who work at Joe's Smoothies.
He said agreed twice now. I think he's scared.
Yeah. So Alonzo, you are so lucky you don't eat like me, because just all I want is a hamburger with ketchup only. That doesn't mean put cheese on it. If I say I want a hamburger ketchup only, that is nothing. It is bread. It is meat. Every green room I work. Oh, you didn't want cheese? I didn't fucking say. I've never once threw it across.
Yeah.
So, exactly. I'm going to tell you, and I love this because this is the funniest thing. I'm the same guy. I'm a hamburger guy, not a cheeseburger guy.
Yeah.
So my usual order, like late night, whatever at McDonald's, I'll order 2 hamburgers and fries. Mm. On the receipt, it says 2 cheeseburgers, no cheese, and fries.
Yeah. It's insane. But
yeah, I
don't
think it's
know
because
why
most people like cheeseburger.
Right, right. So it's a cheeseburger. I don't get a hamburger. I'd like to get a cheeseburger with no cheese.
No cheese, please.
I
Oh
think
man,
people are just I think we're going through it's like remember the Batman when I don't know enough about Batman, but the guy he trained from came to Gotham. He was gonna blow up Gotham because there just needs to be a reset every once in a while because it's Gotham, everybody's being crazy. I think we're at that phase of life right now. I see it at comedy clubs, I see it where people don't know how to have a conversation, even if it's hey, you did something wrong or customer service. There are signs in front of doors at restaurants that say, can you not be dicks to the people that work here? That literally has to be a sign now because they go, listen, you're going to come in. We don't have chicken tenders. They're on a shipping barge in China. So relax. Your servers worked here a week. And people are just, I don't know. It's a phase.
Well, it's the easiest person to bully, right? It's like the mask thing. It's like when you yell at, some poor clerk, whatever, it's their job to say, hey, if you come in, you got to wear a mask. And now you're going to give them your whole political rant and lose your mind. There was even some woman in Virginia, right, who told the teacher, like, my kid's not going to wear a mask and we have guns at home.
Yes, I just saw that.
It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So you're going to shoot the teacher because there's a mask mandate at your child's school. That to you, that's a logical response.
Yeah. Also to the point of, these, I understand these companies need to stay in business, but Alonzo, I agree with you. There needs to be an adult in that building overseeing these minors who are running a business. You can't just throw it all on them.
Let me tell you something. If those little girls were stealing money out of the register, there'd be an adult there the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
If they had like an 8-hour shift and they said, oh, we only made $40 because the girls, pocketed the other 500 or whatever, there'd be an adult there the next day.
They should put a sign up in place with the picture of the guy. They probably don't do this anymore because people don't write checks. But I remember being a little kid going into like a liquor store or whatever, not as a little kid, but convenience store, and they would have pictures of the people who wrote like whose checks bounced, like on the wall, like by the register. Wow. Like don't take a check from this person, and they would have their names. I think you just put a picture of that guy in the front door. Go, you're not welcome. And,
I have another question about that video.
Yes.
Where the hell was Karen? Why is there not a Karen when they can use their powers for good? That was a situation where Karen, her hotline to the manager, her hotline to the police, Karen could have saved the day.
Right.
No, Karen is out looking for a black guy walking his dog. Come on, Karen, step up your game.
That is such a good point. Where is... Oh my gosh. Yes. We need to put, yes, you're right. We got to find the Karens and use them for good. So right there,
the Force in Star Wars, that there's a dark side and then there's the Force. So if Karen is a Force, are there a light side and a dark side? What happens when they combine?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John, do you want to show the other video, or do we have time to do one more with Mark Norman in Cleveland? Do we want to go ahead?
Okay, so
save it.
This is a question, I guess, Alonzo. If I'm saying this right. One, I saw this clip online. I think it's hilarious. So it's, I want to add all these preferences, but it made me think about my career, and I think I've been when you're a company man, when you just do whatever's told and you don't right? Is that a thing?
You follow too many rules.
Yeah. So, but my whole thing at comedy clubs for 30 years, you do press. You're kind of there to sell tickets, and you do it, and you do it well to sell tickets. And then I saw Mark Norman on, you do this like afternoon or morning Cleveland show at 10 o'clock in the morning. And he was on there, and do we watch it first? He was saying just like crazy stuff, which was funny just in that moment and making the news person kind of uncomfortable. But then I thought corporate guy after that. And I don't know if I should keep thinking this way or if I should let it go. Did I explain myself, John? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but after you say all that, I'm realizing it's a 5-minute clip. I don't think we even need to show the clip. I think the premise is good enough. So
well, let me see. Can I see a little of it?
Yeah.
Jump to the farting part. It's like a 30 seconds in, right?
Yeah. Alan Jackson, just go about 30 seconds in and see what we can find. That's fine. Yeah.
So I'm really going to be on the toilet later. But, boy, best corned beef in the
It's
Midwest,
before
if
this.
you ask me.
It's delicious. It's the size of your head.
Yeah, and I ate way too much, but at least everybody there was very attractive.
That's good.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
But good grub there. Whew, still hurting.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, I've been farting it up in the green room, and I think I scared
That's why the door was shut.
Yeah.
To our little smaller green room.
Exactly.
You were just trying to be polite.
We call it hot boxing. Really soaking it all in, because the smell of your own farts, for some reason, is enjoyable. If you farted, it'd be weird. But if I fart, I enjoy it. I don't know why.
Is that a guy thing?
Maybe.
Because I feel like you would hear, no woman would ever say something like that.
No,
No.
you guys are more of now quee thing.
Oh my gosh.
But,
Okay. Well,
is that,
All right,
is
so-
that clean? That's a technical
So, okay. So,
Now listen,
One-
we're comedians. We love it, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Go ahead, John.
but here's immediately what I think, and I don't want to think this way anymore. But I'll share it. So one funny, Natalie is a trooper for staying in that pocket. But I've done shows. I've gone to cities where somebody like that was the week before me, and you go, "Is there any press?" And go, "Yeah, well, there was, but so and so was here, and now this radio station or this TV station doesn't have comics anymore." So part of me is like, what is it? I don't even know what my question is. Like, does that F up other comics? Like Nick, who owns that club, has a has a rep and brings his comics to that show. But if guys do that, then that means Nick won't bring comics to that show because they're going to say, "Hey, F you, comics don't know how to be clean and don't know how to perform at 10 o'clock and sell tickets." Right. So is there an artsy fartsy part of it where you're a comic and you're like, "We're a comic, bro. You just say whatever you want and you do that"? Or is there part of being a professional? Or it doesn't matter because Mark does super well and he's super funny. But do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I think it depends on the comic, right? Because this is his style of humor, obviously. This is what he does. And you're right. She was great. She played along with it. He's going to sell tickets to his audience based on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had an experience just exactly what you were talking about, right? I was at the Tempe Improv, and they told me, "Listen, you got to clean up on press because Tracy Morgan was here last year and last week. And you know how every Good Morning, whatever, they always have the hot host kind of, you know what I mean? Like there's a certain look that they always have. And this was that woman. She was pretty sexy, but not too sexy. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
you can take it down, Alan. That's fine. We're good.
Anyway, Tracy Morgan is there, right? And of course, what does Tracy say to her? "When I look at your feet, I want to get you pregnant," right? Because that's Tracy's thing.
Yeah.
And apparently she got up and walked off the set. She was all insulted and this and that. But it's kind of like, well, you brought in Tracy Morgan. Like he always wants to get somebody pregnant. That's, that's what Tracy Morgan says. So when I went on, we didn't mention that, but I ended up joking with her, and then jokingly, she wanted to set me up with the woman who did Weather, because it was like this tall, beautiful woman who always said she couldn't find guys tall enough. And then I walked in on her doing the Weather, and I was like, "It's Phoenix. It's going to be hot. Let's go to lunch," and they all laughed and stuff. And so in answer to your point, Hef, I think you have to do your humor. Right? Whatever your humor is. And if you're dealing with a comic who does that kind of shock humor or something uncomfortable or something like that, then they got to know that going in. I mean, yeah, it did the queef thing push it too far? Maybe, but
funny.
Also, listen, listen, we all know Nick, and Nick is the nicest guy in the world. But there's something about Nick that I wouldn't want to cross Nick.
Yeah.
Nick's one of those guys
Yeah.
that's so nice. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to know this guy angry.
Yeah, he's connected. He's well connected. It seems like you don't know who he knows.
He's got that vibe
Nick
about him where he's like, this building is 2 stories tall, and that's based on the bodies underneath. Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
No, I think so. No, I don't think. You know something, Hef? I will tell you this, and I've had this experience. I hate when I don't say something. I hate when my inner filter, like if I'm on TV or whatever, and my inner filter stops me from saying something. I hate myself afterwards. I just had an experience on MSNBC where, I was one of the panel, and they didn't ask me a question about this particular story, but I had an opinion, and I didn't jump in. And I was upset with myself afterwards. And then people even commented, there were people who had my opinion who didn't hear it. And if I had spoken up, then they would have said, oh, yeah, that's what I thought, So, I regret not saying things.
I think I was like too conditioned. When I did morning radio in Detroit, we would have to do these things. We'd go to focus groups. So whatever bit you talked about, they would take 5-6 minutes of whatever your morning show was, and then they put it in a room of 30 or 40 people, and those people had dials and could kind of be like, whoa, oh, you did this, and you could kind of see like what turned people off, what turned them on, what got them to change the thing. And I just have all that dumb corporate stuff in my head still.
But I get your point too. It's like, as guys like us, I'm not gonna say company men. I'm gonna say journeymen. I'm gonna say guys who have lived in the mud and the blood and have been to every comedy club, funny bone in the country. And maybe we're not on TV maybe we're not the hot guy at the moment, and we need to rely on these, morning shows like this when we go play hilarities. And maybe it will bum you out when you find out, oh, they don't do comedians anymore because of what, so-and-so said. And now I have to pay the price over what some other comedian did. So it's kind of that argument. I know what you're saying.
You ever go to like a comedy club back in the day where, you try to get a drink or you order chicken tenders, and when you're starting out, it was, crapper cups. You go, well, we're going to charge you half price. And you're like, well, I thought comics drink for free. Well, we did. And then they'll say the guy who was there the week before that just had like a $300 bar tab. Right. And just like, we don't give free chicken tenders or drinks to any comics.
Yeah. So I get I understand that side of it.
I think it's hilarious.
But as a comedian watching it, I'm always like, I bring on the awkward moments. I love it.
I had that
point counter.
I did that to Doug Benson at the old Palms. They used to do a comedy show there, and I made fun of the Maloof brothers, and they got pissed and threw me out. And then they didn't have Doug Benson. Like, Doug Benson was supposed to come in the next week, and they didn't do it. Like, they were mad at comedy or whatever the hell. And I apologized to Doug. I was like, sorry, man, I didn't mean to cost you money, right? I didn't mean to, he's worked it out. Benson has done okay. But there's some things like that. I don't know, man. It's your humor, right? I mean, every comic has different humor.
Right.
So you're going to do the jokes that you do. And, it would be very out of character, I think, for like what you were saying, Reep, for any one of the three of us to start doing fart jokes and talk about hot box in the green room would be out of character for the three of us. So it wouldn't come across as genuine. Yeah. But if I do some joke about a race thing or whatever, and you do some joke about a Southern thing, right? Or Heffron does a joke about, 30 years ago, you could do this, blah, blah, blah. Then that's all within character. And listen, every joke is going to upset somebody.
Right.
If it doesn't upset somebody, we're not doing it right.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's I like that we're talking about. That's an interesting topic. All right, Heff, we're at 9. It's 9:00, and we're pretty much. I gotta read a comment from last week. We have a new. By the way, give us a new review on Apple Podcasts. We need new reviews. So Alonzo, thank you so much for doing this. And
Man, I love you guys. This
you.
was absolutely my pleasure. And listen, as long as I can hear a good Heffron story, I'll be here whenever you need me. As long as Heff can give me one of his stories, because it's not even like a Rickles. Like a Rodney. I don't get any respect. It's not even that. It's just something about Heff that there's going to be something, that if there's going to be naked children at the pool, it's going to be the pool Heffron is in.
And then,
I don't
and you
know
see the
why.
naked kid, and then you go get from the scorpion guy. Yeah.
100%.
I was going to show you a new watch I got, Alonzo. I'll save it for next time.
All right.
So look, Alonzo, we look forward to having you on in the cycle. Thanks for being a part of the circle of hilarious comedian friends.
Thank you, guys.
Plug something.
Yes. March 4th, 5th, and 6th, first weekend of March, I'm at Helium in Philadelphia.
All right.
I was just there. Such a great club.
Yeah, go to his website, which is
AlonzoBodden.com, and everything is Alonzo Bodden except my Instagram is so funny. If you want to see more pictures of the Hulk, ZOFUNNY on Instagram.
All right. So
you gotta be like Eliza.
And
And sorry, Alonzo, you gotta be like Eliza and just bring your dog on stage with you. I mean, you gotta own that dog. You gotta walk out. I want you to carry it, and then all your fans are gonna start making things for the Hulk. Just take
I was at the Improv, and right before Eliza went on, she just handed me her dog. It was like, hold this. I was like, okay.
Yeah, just walk with your dog. I mean, and if clubs don't let you bring that dog, then it's sizeism. It's a thing. It's a dog sizeism thing where little dogs don't get just to walk around, Walmart and Costco. You can bring your big dog in.
Exactly.
So,
all right, so we appreciate you, buddy.
Take care, fellas.
Time.
This was fun, man.
All right, buddy.
Take care. Bye.
All right, so okay. All right, wait. Okay, the Alan Jack. Here we go. All right, so I was hoping we could do that smooth. He's out now. It's back to us, and we end the show together. John Heffron. How great is Alonzo Bodden?
So great, so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
and
my
then
technical
next week. Yeah, that was hilarious. That's a classic Heffron move. He called it. He called it too. So next week we're going to have Tammy Pascatelli on. And we'll get her opinion on some viral videos and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we love all your comments. We didn't get to all of them, but thanks for playing. I mean, Alonzo was reading some of the comments during the conversation, and I thought that was awesome. So Jason, Jacob, all you guys, Bob, thanks for leaving the comments. I'm going to go back into this video and read all the comments, and then we'll read some of our favorite ones next week with Tammy Pascatelli. So leave some questions for her. I meant to ask Alonzo this question from Rick Sanford III, and I just didn't have time. The conversation didn't lend itself to that. But please leave us some new reviews on Apple Podcasts. Go to our Patreon page at heffronandreep.com. We only got 3. Come on, man. throw a big Great Dane dog a bone.
Yeah.
Right, John?
I think you should. Come on, people.
Any final thoughts before we wrap this puppy up?
I am at Comedy Works this weekend. I really want to do that. And then I got a busy month of doing a TV thing in Nashville on a Monday. You're going to have to find a replacement for me. I just got in Indianapolis. You know what I am? Know what niche I'm finding, John, is some other comic got COVID or there was a fallout, and then you bring in Heffron.
Right.
Instead of putting me on the books for like 6 months from now, where I'm literally like a filler guy, but I'll take it. Helium Indie.
I've played that role many times as well. Yeah. It's okay. Well, so that's next week. You won't be here, but it'll be me and Tammy at least, right?
No, I'll be here this coming Monday.
But it's the one after that.
I believe so. We'll figure it out. I'll
call. So look,
her.
In the rotation, we're gonna have Tammy, we're gonna have Reno, we're gonna have Alonzo, we're gonna have Greg Warren. I think we should get Steve Byrne in here as well, just to hear his side of that Seinfeld. How great was that? I
didn't know he would that or
was it Orny Adams? Yeah,
I would never.
We got to get Orny in here now. I love this.
He's gonna yell at us the whole time.
But by the way, I have no problem with Orny Adams. I've only met him a couple times, and he's always been a gentleman and a scholar to me. So
he's a good venting. He's a good.
But then again, he hasn't stolen my jokes right in front of me either. So,
what was I gonna tell you? And then we got to talk about our little thing I've been hashing out that we're gonna do. And this is big news. I'll just tease it. We don't even have to talk more about it. But we have an extra record deal with a huge comedy record label that me and John Reep are going to give away to some youngster comic who's never done an album before. We are going to find them. John, I don't know how we're going to do this yet.
Okay.
And we're going to mentor, and we're going to give a youngin' an album. Yeah. Just to give back, right? I don't have kids. Once my light is gone, John, it doesn't carry on.
You're kind of like the Kevin Costner from Yellowstone. You know, the one son died, the other one was adopted.
Nothing. I have no legacy. So we'll do that, but we'll figure out how to do that a little bit later. You had one comment. Do you want to leave on a bad note? Or
me?
Nah, say you said something I'm not gonna like. You said that there was a comment, and you're not gonna like it.
Yeah, we have one new
somebody doesn't
Apple
like
podcast review.
Well, then maybe the other people listening can go to the Apple review and help squash whatever you're about to tell me.
Go correct this behavior, and go to Apple Podcasts and leave a new review for us. It's free, doesn't cost you any money, and it will help the podcast out. That's if you don't have money. If you do have money, be a Patreon supporter. All right. So here's the new podcast. Here's the new review we have. It's by Jason G454.
Okay.
I don't know who that is. Jason G454. He left this comment on the 13th of this month. Says, "Love it, kinda."
Oh boy, I bet you I'm okay.
Here we go. Sorry.
Go on. But I've been working on my Sam Elliott. What do you think?
It ain't bad. It kind of sounds like Kevin Costner from Yellowstone, if you ask me.
Let's do a whole podcast where we talk just like this.
All right, let me read this first.
All right, we'll go off on a negative comment, and then everyone go to the comments and leave a good one, and then I'll play them.
It's just all right. Reep is awesome. The other guy is meh. Think I'll stick to country-ish, but this one is funny most of the time.
You know what? You know what that guy needs to do? Who's your friend? There's some lady who feels the same way. Meh. Meh.
Meh. M-E-H. I guess that's how you pronounce it.
That woman who says that and that guy, you should start a Facebook group called John Heffron is meh. Make it private so you got okay people. Watch that group. It's going to get like so many people.
All right, listen, if you love Heffron, you need to go write a review and maybe throw some shade at me. All right, because we got to balance this out. It's Heffron and Reep, not Heffron is mad, Reep is awesome. So, yeah, go to heffronandreep.com. Leave us a nice review. All right, and we'll see you next week. Am I right, John?
We'll see you all next week. I'm gonna plug in my computer now.
Bicycle.